Hello, hello, hello. What is going on, guys? I should probably have this a little bit better audioed for you. um, Hi. It's been what? It's been a couple days, probably almost a week since I've all spoken to you guys. I noticed chat's not there. Let me pull that up for every. Oh, it's broken. Cool. Let me actually fix that now because yeah. You can tell that I'm unprepared because I've been trying to do a lot of things in the background, but let me just fix things really quick. That's there. Hey, there it is. Cool. Ugh. All right. Yeah. What's up, everybody? Let me go down the list here. And then actually properly say hello to everybody, but I should probably do it the right way. There we go. That makes it easier. So what's up, everybody? Hopefully you guys are all doing great. It is Monday. So down the list, Unitrix, how's it going? Fluffy, glad you're doing all right, man. Glad to see you. Alex, what's going on? Outside Stadia, hello. I know you from Meg's channel. And then Meg, of course. I dare you not stream for a week, right? Endeavor, how's it going? How are you, my man? It's been a minute. So yeah, I mean, there's been a lot of stuff going on the outside. Supposed to guess where you've been. yeah, you guys are supposed to guess exactly where I've been. So, I mean, I'm trying to make this as easy as possible to say it, so it's like not confusing and kind of all makes sense. So first and foremost, I am sorry for not streaming the past what feels like forever. You guys all know that I have a new job, so it's kind of been like I've been focused on a lot of training and trying to get things done and trying to work things out with everything, but it's so there's a lot of stuff that goes into this, so I'm not there's nothing negative here. Well, there is negative, but it's nothing that's affecting this channel too much, so you guys don't have to worry about that. So just we'll go through each thing one at a time and we'll kind of hash things out in general. Rouster, how's it going? I've been wondering where you've been, actually. Bad day here, but there's always tomorrow. That indeed. 6 days. It's been 6 days since I've streamed. Oh gosh. Oh man, it's been a minute. Actually, I just want to turn these lights off because I don't want the lights on right now. I'm just chilling anyways. So you guys all know about the new job. I've kind of just been focusing on that. There hasn't been much going on. I've kind of just been filling my day with other things, whether it be Discord stuff, keeping up on the news with Twitter, and we'll get into that topic a little bit later as well. I'm just trying to make sure I get everything in, put all my eggs in a basket so that we can all kind of talk about it. And we'll go through the list, and if anybody has any questions, comments, concerns, we could definitely talk about that. But yeah, just my life's been pretty crazy right now. From the new job, which I love. It's not stress from the job. Love what I do, love the people that I work with. It's still training. So I've kind of been hashing all that stuff out. And like there's nothing negative about that. It's just been like really slow because my trainer isn't able to teach us more stuff, and we don't have any credentials to get logged into. So it's been a little bit of a different thing for me. I'm not used to not having so much work compared to what I used to do, but there's no complaints there. Let's see. Holt said, how far did you get with the stream for Kingdom Hearts series? I believe I know we're on Birth by Sleep, but I know we weren't that far. We haven't finished Terra, which I do need to get back into that on Sundays. But I'll explain why Sunday, like my weekends have been so MIA and stuff like that. Fluffy says Pyro Outriders was the last stream. Yeah, that feels like forever ago, honestly, so I'm not gonna lie. Ruben, babyface with the old ass. Yes, definitely babyface with the old ass. So work's been good, just kind of working that stuff out. So the biggest reason I haven't been able to really stream as much is because while filling my time with with training because there's not a lot there right now. I've been kind of figuring out what I've been wanting to do as far as streaming, because I know I still have a large list to get through. There's a lot of stuff that I have not completed, and it's a very large list for me to get through and figure out what needs to get done, how to spare my time the way I need to, and a couple other things that have came up that are either replacing some days or just kind of keeping me away from streaming. So one of the first things that I will mention is, and I think I've talked about it very briefly before. So you guys know I'm really close to my grandfather and everything, and he's like my role model and like my dad and stuff, because I didn't have a father growing up. So I'm actually dealing with a lot with him right now, because we've pretty much come to the point where this, like, I don't expect him to last by the end of the year. I don't expect him to last by fall. Like, he's not necessarily in the worst condition. It's not COVID. He's just getting old. Like, that's plain and simple. And I can't get mad at that. So I've kind of been more of trying to be there for my family. And that's kind of why like my weekends have been very shifty. I'm trying to spend as much time as I can when I can. And these past couple of weeks I've been trying to focus my Saturdays to go visit him. He's not far away. He's like a 10-minute drive, 15-minute drive, if anything. So I try to go over and hang out with him. He's actually, right now, he's got really bad circulation in his legs. He's retaining water. So it's been really difficult to kind of, it sucks when you see somebody go through all this stuff and like there really isn't much for you to do other than like you kind of have to let it happen. Like that's the best way to say it. And like I said, like I'm content with everything going on. I'll go through my grieving process and all that when it comes to that point. But mentally where I'm at right now, like I'm definitely happy my grandfather has lived the life that he's been given. He's got, his family close to him. He's been able to do so many different things. He's 93, I think. So he's up there. So he's lived a very fruitful life. He's done a lot for us, especially the younger generation in the family. But yeah, I've just been more trying to be there for like my mom and my aunts and everybody, and trying to explain to them like there isn't much we can do at this point. It's just kind of like you kind of have to just let it happen, like what else can you do other than put him through more of this eventually towards the end, and then so on and so forth. So I've kind of been not necessarily in a funk. It's just more of like a bracer, like a mental bracer of like, okay, this is going to happen like soon. Like it's going to happen soon. He's very fragile. Like his skin peels or like gets bruised for anything. He can't stand on his own. Like they have to push him around in a walker. And this just happened, like the transition happened in like a year, like less than a year maybe. It just clicked, and then you just saw everything start to go downhill. And it's somewhat of a scary feeling, but at the same time, like I said, I know my grandfather's not going to stay forever. Like it'd be a blessing and probably a curse at times because he's very stubborn, but like I know it's not going to happen, and I've accepted that fact. It's just now what do I do other than I gotta wait and have this happen, and the best I could do is just kind of sit there and expect the worst to happen, which is he's just gone tomorrow. So that's kind of where I've been mentally with a lot of that stuff. But let me get to the chat really quick. Fluffy says, I completely understand where you're coming from. My grandmother was 100 plus when she passed. It only makes it easier, but it isn't easy. And that's the best way to say it, is like knowing makes it easier, but yeah, it's not, either way, it's not easy. It's not easy dealing with any type of death, whether it be close to you or just around you in general. Like it's tough. It really is. It's tough. There's no other way to say it. But So I've been focusing a lot on that, and just kind of, like I said, expecting the worst to happen, which is I'm not going to see him tomorrow. And that's where my mindset has been for the past few weeks that I've known about it. I think it's been like about a month since I've known about everything going on. So, and it's difficult for me in the part that, like, I can be okay with this and like know what's going to happen, but seeing like my mom go through the phases of breaking down and realizing that it's her dad, it's your one and only right next to you, passing, and it's kind of like you've seen all the good and all the bad, and it's just like it's difficult to see that. And that's kind of where and why I've been so far away from the streams, even though like I'm not necessarily there with her. I am pretty much at the ready, like drop everything, go. And yeah, so that's one thing that's been kind of keeping my attention, and why I haven't really streamed as much is because I'm prepping for that. And I will say to you guys, there probably will come a time where if I am streaming or if something comes up, you might see me just like bolt out and like, sorry guys, I gotta go, like cut the stream, leave, like just I'm gone. So at least you guys are prepared and know what's going on. I want to be as transparent as I can for you guys, because that's what I've always tried to do, is give you what's really going on behind the scenes, because I don't want to feel like I'm holding anything from you guys. I know private life is meant to be private, but at the same time, things like this where hardships and struggles come in, like it's always good to kind of go to your viewers, or the people that you have that see your life, or at least the life that you showcase, they kind of are part of your life too. So but I wanted to at least give you guys the fill on all of that. Ugna says, dude, I'm here for you if you want to talk about it. Totally understand where you're coming from. Yeah, no, and I know we talked about I know I actually just saw Ugnuts this weekend, and I just, at that time I didn't talk about it because I had just seen him, or I was going to see him the next day, and I was just kind of like not even thinking about it. But yeah, that's just kind of how the things have been. I'm not struggling right now. It's not like I'm going through a depressive state or anything. It's just, I'm bracing myself because I know it's going to happen. So like, I'm okay right now. And like I said, when it comes to that point where I will be grieving and going through that process, like I will definitely be reaching out to people, because the ones that I talk to the most online, whether they be close friends or just people that I really keep close ties with, they all know kind of already what's going on. For instance, Ashes to Ashes, who's always been there. And so I've kind of just, I fill in the people that need to be filled in right away. But like I said, you guys, I wanted to make sure that I gave that little bit of info so you guys are aware of why streams have been cut a little bit. It's not like crazy private information, but it's something that's gonna hit at one point, and you guys are gonna wonder what the hell's going on. So I rather give you guys the fill of it now and brace you, because it's gonna happen. So Mamatron says, thinking of you, Link. Tough family times. Yes, definitely, and thank you. I appreciate that. Definitely appreciate that. Alex says, all my love, brother. Thank you. I appreciate that as well. I will welcome that with open arms to anybody. So thank you guys. So yeah, that was kind of like one of the biggest things that's been really restricting a lot of the stuff. And now that I kind of have that out of the way, you guys are aware of why stream schedule has been a little bit difficult. So, but slowly working on trying to get that back. I know I've talked about it over and over again, how I want to finish up Assassin's Creed for you guys, because I want to start Phoenix Rising. I want to get through the Kingdom Hearts saga so that we can get that done and over with, so that way I can start doing Fable after that one. Outriders has been a hot mess all around, but is slowly and finally getting put back together and fixed. So I'm happy about that. And I did some testing this morning because there was a patch for a lot of this stuff. What's going on, Color? Sorry, I like looked over the last minute. Outriders is finally like getting the patches that they need to get stuff fixed. So I know PlayStation, PC, and Xbox all have crossplay officially working. Stadia is the only one, and it's rather unfortunate. I've already talked to many people about it. I don't understand why Stadia is just getting left on the back. Okay, well I kind of do, but at the same time, it's like it's the ongoing thing of Stadia's always last when it comes to these updates, and it's getting tiring to see it. But I'm not here to argue about, you know, what's the better platform or why this one should get it. It's just the way the game industry works. Like, that's just how it is. So there's a lot of factors that go into it, but I'm not here to argue about it. The good thing is that everything is starting to get back to the way it used to be, where everything works. We can all play wherever we want to play. We can all be happy and not worry about it. I still have the Stadia version ready to go, and all I'm waiting for is for Stadia to be fully functional, updated, ready, and I will be back on there to play Outriders on there. I mean, I've been playing on Xbox, but I'm purposely not playing too much on Xbox now that I finished it, so that I can go through it. So, but yeah, definitely. Alex said, you might not know me too well, but know that you can reach out to me for a fresh perspective anytime. Appreciate that, Ben. And that goes back to you. If you ever need anything, if you ever want to talk, I'm always here. I keep my DMs open for anybody who's ever having issues, struggling. I know I've definitely had people reach out to me on certain things that I've expressed over the time of streaming and just in general. So, but definitely. Robert Taylor, you should argue about it. Nah, I'm not gonna argue. Endeavor says a lot of factors. Money, that's one of the biggest ones. Yeah, definitely. I mean, it's based on player base. Exactly. That's exactly true, Fluff. That is 100% what it's been. It's the player base. So Meg says Fable. Yes, I will definitely do Fable. That was one that came up as of recent with, I believe it was with what's cracking, Kai, which you guys should know from which is the gaming on podcast Unfiltered now. So, and actually I'm probably messing up the name completely too, so that's my bad, but yeah. So now that you guys have that there and kind of know, as far as the stream schedule, like I said, it'll come back. I kind of marked it all to be determined. I'm going to keep pushing to have the Terraria community days Saturday mornings, and then I might do something more in the evening. Sundays will be the Kingdom Hearts saga that we're going to go through, because we're getting close to the end. Like, we've killed around 4 or 5 different games from there, so it's been quite the journey already. So we'll get through those, and then I'll get through Assassin's Creed. I'm gonna start planning them out. I might shift the days off that I have. I might keep them the same. Like I said, there is something that I won't talk about yet, because there's gonna be an official announcement about it. But you'll be hearing some news this week on something that's coming up. So be on the lookout for that. I can't really tell you, but I'm pretty sure a lot of people will be happy that it's going to happen. So we'll see how that goes. Squid says top 3 favorite game franchise. Definitely. Holt says yes to Fable. Nice. How you doing, Squid? Token, my guy, what is up? How are you? Yeah, there's there's a lot that needs to get done, and I need to ration things out. I'm pretty sure a lot of people want to see Resident Evil as well, because the Village is going to be out in a couple days, or actually in a couple weeks. So I'll try to see what I can squeeze in for all that stuff. I mean, there's a lot, but yeah, I'm gonna do my best to kind of get through all this stuff and try to bang out a lot of these games for you guys. And I know Meg's asking for ESO. I said I would be back, and I wanna stand on that promise that I would be back. I got to get through so much of this other stuff, and yeah, it's just it's a lot going on. So bear with me is all that I ask. There's so much that I have on my hands that I need to make sure I'm doing everything possible to not go insane with everything. So let's see. Token says yes, Resident Evil. Taylor says, you know what I want to see? I just want to see you, my man. Oh, that's so sweet. You're so nice. No, definitely. I'll reach out to you, Taylor, since we know each other in real life. But hopefully hopefully we can get some stuff done this weekend. We'll see. He says, will you be streaming RE7 first and then RE8? Yeah, no, definitely. I think that's what a lot of people want to see, because there's a lot of games that want, like, the reason I want to finish Assassin's Creed is so I could start Immortals, Phoenix Rising. So I want to get that done. The reason I want to get through Kingdom Hearts is to get to Fable and all that stuff. So I'm just trying to push to what I can really quick. So yeah, just bear with me. Got a Fuego pony. Oh man, yeah, ESO is fun. If you like MMORPGs, I highly recommend it. It's one of the top ones, I think. I'm looking forward to another one that actually just announced they're doing some hiring. So if you guys look out for, it's called Ashes of Creation. Their studio is actually looking for some people. So definitely check them out. So many damn games. Yeah. Yeah. No, there's a lot. So, what else can we talk about? Because I know there's a lot that's been going on that I haven't really brushed up on. And I guess this is something that's going to come up because a lot of people definitely bring it up. So Twitter's been popping off on a lot of things, a lot of crazy things. If you're part of the Stadia community, I normally stay out of these conversations for the fact that my opinion is my opinion, and that's what it's always going to be. I'm not here to change anybody's mind. I'm not here to make you look like the bad person. I always welcome healthy discourse back and forth. If you listen to me, I listen to you. Plain and simple. But doesn't mean that you have to walk away convinced that I'm gonna be right, or vice versa. I don't have to agree and be expected to know that your view or whatever the case may be is 100%. So it's a mess right now, and I'm heartbroken over it. We'll talk about it. So from what I've seen in the past two weeks, I guess, I mean, if I could be extremely honest on this, it was happening for the past probably month, and it's been pretty ridiculous. We don't have to agree on everything to still be friends. Exactly. I think that's the biggest point, Alex. So from what I've seen in what I've been looking at, this is something that's been kind of been alluded to for quite some time, and in the past month I think it's been more aggressive in a sense that we've now seen what it's come to. So for those that aren't aware, Stadia is like, not necessarily Stadia itself, but the community that revolves around Stadia has come to this point where it's literally divided, and it's like Meg said, it's pretty heartbroken, or heartbreaking, I should say. I never thought it would get to this point. when I first jumped on the wagon with Stadia. Like, it's been really weird the past 2 weeks, if I can be honest. Like, I don't understand. I mean, personally, I don't understand why there is a need for it. Some people may. That's their case, and that's perfectly fine. But I personally don't see a need for the distinguish between Stadia and the hashtag Stadia 100. It's been something that has been floating around, and I'll elaborate on what exactly it means for some people. Holt said, "I like the saying, I might not agree with your opinion, but I totally respect your right to have one." And that's true. That's 100% true, Holt. That is literally what it should be. Endeavor says, "I can't understand how a gaming community keeps arguing about on Twitter instead of just playing games." And that's the thing. Like, I said it to a couple of friends when we were having a discussion, that it feels like I'm in a community that's very similar to what Xbox and PlayStation are going through. It's like you can only have one or the other. And I've kind of felt like it's turned me off from being more active with the community, unfortunately. Not necessarily like my viewers or the people that come to watch what I watch. Like, that's a different case compared to the people that are on the internet. And I've always said it over and over to myself, to many people around me and friends, that the internet is a horrible place. Like, it is a terrible, terrible place. And that is 100% fact. So Meg says, "I'm all about inclusivity, not excluding people." And that's what it should have been. That's what it was going to be. But people have their say. Unfortunately, they feel that it needs to be that way, and that's what starts making this improper divide for that. And it's pretty bad. So haters will always be there, which is true. Haters will always be there. But at the same time, haters are part of what makes you or your content that special. So I mentioned a long time ago that I avoid negativity. I've slowly stepped away from a lot of the community engagement that I used to do. And that's fair. That's fair. A lot of people have, and that's totally fine. And unfortunately, it's gotten to that point where, a lot of these people, for instance, Fluffy, is now in the fields of, I don't want to be a part of this because it's ridiculous. And that's kind of why I've retracted a lot of what I've been doing with the community as a whole, to kind of be like, okay, like I don't feel like this is beneficial to anybody at all. Like, it's not. That's kind of how I see it right now, as it's not benefiting anybody. Like, if you think it's helping people by segregating 100%, you're literally just making somebody else look horrible. Like, that's literally what you're excluding the people that have tried to make something from the very beginning and decided they wanted to do more than just that. You've now just basically slapped that person in the face by saying your content doesn't matter anymore because it's not strictly one thing. And that is the most, in my opinion, pretty disrespectful thing. So everybody has their views, though. You may not like it. That is perfectly fine. Perfectly fine. But that really doesn't give you the right to shun the person, if that makes sense. It's like, if, I don't know, I mean, it's kind of like the whole Coke and Pepsi thing. Like, everybody has their preference. But at the same time, it's like, I'm not going to sit here and bicker and argue because you drink Coke instead of Pepsi. Like, it's pineapple on pizza. Exactly. Thank you, Eddie. So, Endeavor says, I think the Stadia 100 is more about marketing than excluding anyone, although people felt attacked by it. And that's the thing. That's the problem. If there's anything that I've ever learned working where I work and doing everything that I do is the whole harassment and awareness of harassment. Doesn't matter what your take is or what your idea is about what it was supposed to be. The minute that it hurts somebody in any way, it is wrong. Case in point. Same thing with this whole race war that I mean, I guess you can call it race war. I don't want to call it a war, but this whole discrimination, being racist, like the minute you feel like what you said wasn't meant to be taken that way and it did, you're in the wrong. You are officially in the wrong. It's how it is. Unfortunately, it's how it is. That's why you got to always, especially on the internet, you can get destroyed on the internet. But yeah, there, like I said, the internet's a crazy place. So let me catch up with chat really quick. Token says, okay, so I'm not the only one thinking that it's gotten out of hand. Yeah, no, you're not the only one. Just creates division and strife. I miss the good old days where we all supported each other. Exactly, and that's what we should have been doing. Even if it came to this point, we should have all still been doing the same thing. But where it shifted is where my concern is more pinpointed towards. Who, why, and what was the point of it? I mean, like Endeavor said, it was more marketing, but unfortunately, the marketing has put more of a target on people. And that's what you don't want. And that's at that point, once it started doing that, was when we should have just said, okay, maybe let's take a step back and reevaluate what we're doing. That would have been the proper way to kind of go about it. But no, people kept pushing hard and pushing back. And it was like, it's either this or it's either that. It's either this or it's either that. And then, people started making jokes about it, which I completely get. Once things get very tense, people start to do things to kind of loosen the atmosphere. And then people started getting offended. And then that's when it was just like, okay, you guys really are getting out of hand for a hashtag. Like, let's take a step back. It's a hashtag for marketing to segregate a lot of stuff. The minute you start getting very offensive towards it, that's when you need to reevaluate what's really going on, or you should evaluate what's really going on. Like I said, there's no right or wrong at this point. You're more than welcome to have your views and see everything that you want to see. Doesn't mean you have to agree with everything, but at the same time, you need to be respectful for the people that want this stuff. It's not like we said that you can't have Stadia 100 be a thing. Nobody ever said that. But we all question, why is this a thing? Why does this need to be a thing? And it kind of all started with the whole people wanting to branch out and do things that they want to do. Like, why is that so wrong at all? Why is that wrong at all? Holt says, I've strangely only saw certain YouTube headings, but not saw the tweets. Gotcha. Haters are the ones who hold too much bias and don't have open minds. It's true. Sometimes it's true, yeah. Taylor says Pepsi. Squid says, yeah, I would agree. So I just don't understand the animosity towards multi-platforming. Everyone has their opinion, is entitled to it as well. But I can see where the disconnect is, which is fair. Yeah, exactly. And just because someone has PlayStation doesn't make them lesser or more of a being. I guess where expectations aren't met, that's also not helping the community's health. And that's another big thing. That is another big thing. Squid also says, but I think everyone just needs to look at their own situation and remember why we love our games. Definitely. Nice Fluffy says, opinions are not facts, yet people treat them as much. And that's one of the big things is people people are arguing over opinions. There's a place and time, and their opinions for a reason. They're not facts. Like you guys say, they're not facts. People need to get that out of their head. If you guys, and I'll bring this up because I thought it was funny, and it's kind of true. So when we heard about the whole thing with Stadia Source branching out and wanting to do the GFN network and all that stuff, and I'm all for it. I am 100% for it. Like, dude, you guys are top tier to me. In my eyes, in my opinion, Stadia Source has always been on top of everything. Dan, Avery, Carly, Blue Bobs, like everybody, Dom, Anthony, all of them have been doing such a phenomenal job, and even the even the reviews, like Improper Joe, like everybody has been doing such an amazing job on that platform. And for them to be growing just means that they're being so much more successful that they want to expand and do other things, that they want to keep giving more and more content to you. That's a big plus to me. That is a huge plus to me. And I don't understand why people would want to diminish that. Like, I mean, think about it. If you were running a company and you're just kind of like, you're like, hey, we started doing this product and now we want to add this product in, and everybody in your fan base just said no, how would you feel? Like, you want to do more, you want to make more money, you want to provide for more people, and they just said no, just keep the one. And you're like, but wait, it's like not costing me anything other than, you know, time, or I'm utilizing more time than I have. I've perfected this a little bit that I can kind of branch. No, don't. Why? I think it's dumb. But why? Is it affecting you? Does it affect you at all? Is it hurting you? Is it damaging your image? Is it taking money away from you? It's doing absolutely nothing other than providing more for you should you choose to use it. So why does it need to be so negative? It makes no sense to me. Squid says, yep, I agree. Nice fluffy. And that's the dangerous part, is when you tell someone their opinion is not indeed a fact, that's where it gets whacked. That's just people in that special case scenario. Endeavor says, I heard MM2K live today. He talked about creating it to exactly promote the Stadia content creators like before. Not the intention was to exclude, but to promote. But see, that's the thing. Like I've said, it's perfectly fine to promote, but why the hashtag needed to change made no sense, because you could literally still use the hashtag Stadia. You can still promote people, or Team Stadia, which is the one that was used for quite some time. Like, there are these opportunities to still use those. The fact that it was switched to that, like, made it seem like people within the Stadia community wanted to exclude themselves from everything else. And this is me looking at it at a bigger picture. I'm not fully 100% Stadia, nor did I ever claim to, and if I did, I had already previously talked about saying I was going to do more than just Stadia content. It is my preferred platform, and I've said it over and over again. You guys all know that I have an Xbox and that I use a PC as well. I've provided the content on there. Yes, Stadia is my primary use case when it's something that I want to showcase, and it will still be my primary. The reason that I play all these other games is, one, to provide more content to you. Two, some games function a lot more at a higher quality performance to provide for you guys. So that's why I use either said PC or Xbox. But at the same time, it's not like I'm saying you have to watch this stuff, or, you know, anything like that. You guys are more than welcome to, and I've said it before, like, I don't choose to get monetized by anything. I don't want to get monetized by anything. Everything that I do is a hobby. Like, if people started coming after my neck, then I would say something about it, but I don't have to, because I don't get involved with all this stuff. So even if the hashtag is there, it feels like they want to close off the gates from everybody. Like, that's just my opinion, and that is how it looks on the outside. So just, I mean, take it with a grain of salt, like I always do with everything. That's just what it looks like. I'm not saying it is. I'm not saying that's what they're trying to do. It's just what it kind of looks like from my perspective. It looks like they just want to close everything off to just be Stadia, nothing else. Like it, and that's where it doesn't make sense to me. But like you said, it was meant to promote. I completely understand. But if you look at it from outside, where if it's somebody that's not part of the Stadia community and they run into somebody like us who have decided to do more than just Stadia content, they'll probably wonder, why are they not part of Stadia 100 then? Why is this? Oh, well, they're not just Stadia content. It's not only Stadia content, so they're not part of it. Well, why? It's still Stadia content. Yeah, but this is strictly Stadia content. Yeah, but he's got Stadia content like right there. What's the difference? It's kind of like, what's the point? And that's just me. That's just me. I'm giving you guys my opinion on the matter, and then you guys can take it how you want. It's perfectly fine. So let me try to get caught up with chat. Meg says, sadly, just because you branch out doesn't mean that your Stadia content is now trash. Yeah. Roster says, Stadia Source, GSN now has speaking of Stadia, yeah, which is another good podcast. That sounds like you to me. Yes, I remember we're talking about it. I think it's Aaron, right? I believe it's Aaron. So anyone who does anything outside of Stadia is no longer supported or promoted by the community, and that's kind of what it feels like. And that's what I was trying to get by, saying on that comment. But yeah, Meg's kind of hitting it. That's just what it feels like. But yeah, Endeavor says, I hope not. Any Stadia content for me should be supported by it. True, but that's the way it's been kind of seen. Like, you can't use, like, the way that you can't use Stadia or hashtag Stadia 100 if it's not 100% content. Yeah, so it's how it's felt. Like, people made the joke like, oh, so I could say like Stadia 50, which is like 50% of my content, and somebody's just like, yeah, you can. I'm just like, why is this a thing? Why is this a thing? So, like I said, just strictly how I feel about the matter, and you can take it as you want. It's not me trying to instigate anything or argue. We're more than happy to talk about it. I'm always going to be open to any conversation. If I'm in the wrong, please, you can tell me I'm in the wrong. I'm not going to get offended or argue with you or sit here and try to change your mind, because I keep an open mind for that reason, that I'm not always right, and I know I'm not always right. But what I feel, I will definitely express in a matter that, one, you can understand where I'm coming from, and two, I do have the right to speak what's on my mind and about how I feel. So just be open as I'm being open. So let's see. Meg says, Stadia creators, always used to promote and support each other. Now, if you're not pure, you're not considered part of it anymore. So needlessly, yeah, exclusatory. It sucks to see, definitely. And that's kind of what I've been seeing lately. Meg also says, it makes me glad I branched out already, because I would never want to see or seem like I'm excluding people who love a platform. Yeah, and I agree with you. Endeavor says, yeah, I see your point, but I don't think anyone that uses is a purist. Well, see, that's the thing. People that have been using it have been forcing themselves, not necessarily forcing themselves, but it feels like they've used the thing of, I've always been Stadia, I've never changed, and all this stuff. And that's kind of like where the jabs have been. And I'm pretty sure it's not meant to be jabs, but that's kind of where it's been pushed to. And it sucks. But like I said, you may not think what you're saying is meant to be aggressive. It just, it comes out kind of like that. So yeah. So Eddie says, no, that's not just you. Check out Twitter, Endeavor. Okay, Meg says, Stadia 100 is only if you're a pure channel. Endeavor says, I stay away from Twitter most of the days. Makes sense. Meg says, I have been because of seeing my beloved community fall apart. Gotcha. Yeah, and it's probably tough. Endeavor says, I heard the intention of promoting, but now hearing how people felt left out makes sense. The negativity about it. Yeah, and that, I mean, that's it comes with it. How's it going, Clive? Oh God, I'm so glad Clive's here, because I would love to have a chance to kind of just sit down and talk with you sometime. Stadia 100 is for content. It's not about channels, and free for people to use. Your and Meg's understanding of it's wrong. I'm sorry you think that way. You've been misled. Well, thank you. I appreciate that, Clive. And like I said, I could be wrong, and that's perfectly fine. Like I don't think what I say is 100% right. I just try to voice kind of like how I feel. I think this is where that disconnect is, because a lot of the times that I'm not saying it to you specifically, Clive. I'm just saying like there have been people on there that have brought up. And the only reason I say people is I don't want to bring up names and cause issues and stuff like that. But there have been people who have kind of put the shun on others, or have said things. And like I said, what you say may not necessarily mean what you say, but when you look at it, it comes off as very negative or aggressive. And that's just my take on it. And I just try to stay clear of making a bigger scene than what it needs to be. But there are some people that I've seen have a very purist form to it, but like you're saying, it's just for content being specifically filtered to Stadia, which it makes sense. And like I said, if it's a promotion thing, it totally makes sense. The way it just came out was very it was just very out of the ordinary to me. That's just how I felt. It just kind of threw me off as, is this just being an exclusion now? And that's kind of where it's started building up to, in my perspective. But I appreciate you kind of clarifying exactly what it's supposed to be. And I think I've seen you plenty of times try to explain it to a lot of people, yet I know there are many others that kind of take the idea and just run it their way. So thank you. Holt says, that's the same when a past Stadia hashtag happened and Reddit blew up saying they don't see the need, doesn't represent them, felt fractured from Stadia. I'm not sure how clear to be about it. Alex is causing controversy again. No, Clive never causes controversy. I've always seen him as a mediator between a lot of the topics that have been out there. He has a very, very open mind when it comes to a lot of stuff, and it's always been great, like watching his videos. Like, not only is he an intelligent individual, he's hilarious. So I definitely recommend you guys check him out whenever you guys get a chance. So I've seen plenty of his stuff, and it's great. Raja says, I don't know about the hashtag. It only really causes people to be split up. Oh, didn't know about the hashtag. Yeah, it was just recently that it happened. I want to say within the last week that we've seen it really kind of start coming to. So the fact people interpret the way you have means we have to work harder to address that. We will, and that's fine. Like I said, I mean that's kind of like why I like this healthy discourse back and forth. It's having these conversations, being able to talk to somebody in a civil manner about this stuff is something that I for myself am glad to be able to have that, especially with Clive. Because there's many people out there that just don't have that I guess composure to just sit there and try to listen to somebody explain how it's making them feel, because it's like, well, you're wrong, it's not. And it's just kind of like, but you don't understand, like, I'm just telling you, like, this is how I feel, like, this is what it feels at this moment. You doing this is a very negative way in my gut, and you're just, well, you're wrong, that's not. And then it's just kind of like, okay, you're not really listening to me. So so I don't argue on Twitter about this stuff. So, but it's always good to have somebody like, and that's what I like about my chat, is like, anybody is open to have the discussion. I will never shun anybody away about anything. So let's see. Meg says it's not really free for anyone to use if you have to use 100% Stadia channel to use it. It doesn't really make sense as a promotion, because only people who want to see 100% Stadia content would search the hashtag. So how can we reach more people and share how awesome Stadia is? Let's see. Clive says you do not need 100% Stadia channel. My channel is not 100%. My show is. Gotcha. And see, that's the thing. It's like, you saying that obviously is making it easier for me to understand, but I have seen people who have brought up the idea that the Stadia 100 is meant to be in a, like I said, in a sense, a purist form, or a purist ideal, that you're either 100% Stadia or you're not 100% Stadia. And you expressing that your channel obviously is not 100%, but your show is, that, I mean, that completely makes sense to me. But like I'm saying, there are people out there that are mixing that idea up. And for me, it does make sense the way you're explaining it, Clive, where it's not a sense of segregation or any type of exclusivity. It's just more of trying to find content that is strictly Stadia, not necessarily a strictly Stadia channel, but just content in general, whether it be a video, whether it be a show, whether it be a podcast, straight live stream. I completely get. That is 100%. I get it. But I think how people have seen the whole Stadia 100, in my sense, the way that I've seen it, it's felt more like a separation. And let's see, how can I say this? And this is why, like, I didn't really say much on Twitter about this stuff, because I really didn't want to argue with people on there for like really nothing really to argue, other than I wanted to understand it the best I could. It just felt like we were getting the axe, in a sense. Like, it was like the channel, I think, like how Meg even expressed it, it just kind of felt like we were tossed out, in a sense. So that was one of the things. But like I said, Clive, you're making it easier for me to understand, and I appreciate that. It's definitely something that I feel more comfortable with now. So thank you. I will say that. Thank you for kind of really explaining what your idea was behind it, because now I don't feel like that anymore. I don't feel like whatever content that I had that wasn't Stadia was like in the negative sense. So I do appreciate that. Let me see. What else am I missing? Let's see. Holt says, I like Stadia 100. At least I know where to go when I want to consume just Stadia. It saves me time filtering. Definitely. Endeavor says it's more like this. Let's see. It's more like this piece of content is 100% Stadia. Yeah, exactly. And that's kind of what the idea is, from what Clive is saying. Yeah. Then why not just use Stadia? What's the point of the 100? Well, that's the thing. I think that's now what my head is trying to comprehend at this point, is what would be the need for the 100, other than it's, like Clive said, it's just content that is filtered to just be 100%. So let's see. Endeavor says purest ideal should be for Stadia hunters. They stole it. Stadia 100 would have been awesome for game completion. That would have been a good one. My understanding from someone that has not been involved with it. Gotcha. Let's see. Alex says on another. No, I've been vibing to stream beats, lo-fi. Yeah, definitely. Glad you guys are enjoying it. And he says Stadia 100 for the existing viewers of Stadia content. If you are looking for Stadia exclusive content, you can use this hashtag. So the current viewers of Stadia content can easily find Stadia content, pretty much. So Stadia 100 can be used in conjunction with Stadia. If you have a cloud gaming show, you might use Stadia or hashtag Stadia along with hashtag GeForce Now to help people find content that is just Stadia flag it for users. Gotcha. That's what he said. There is a disconnect in the communication as what Stadia 100 is meant for, and the miscommunication has created a divide in the community. And I think that's the biggest thing. And I mean, like I said, even Clive said that if that's how people are feeling, then they just kind of need to express it a little bit more easier, and kind of like why this conversation is happening in the first place is to kind of get to that specific point. So, but it's always good to have these conversations. So Eddie Player One says, downside, you are not expanding the community, you are creating content only for people that already follow the Stadia community. It's narrowing the discoverability for all the interwebs. In a sense, yeah, that's kind of what's been what in a sense is slowly happening. But I mean, at this point, we can't really just say it's 100% negative. The way I'm trying to be open about it is more of, let's see where it goes. I mean, to be honest, let's see where it goes. The hashtag is there. If it proves to be something that works out, then at the same time, we can't really be upset about it. It's a hashtag. Like I said, even though I think it's not necessary, what's the harm in seeing what it's gonna do? Like I said, I feel more comfortable now that Clev's talked about it, that we can kind of see things, but at the same time, it's like I said, I can't always be the one to just push away any idea. I have to be open about it. Let's see what happens with it. If it works out, I mean, cool, that'd be great. But at the same time, I mean, like I said, it's not hurting anybody at this moment. Now that, at least, like I said, Clev's already kind of explained it, I feel better knowing kind of what it is. And the misinterpretation, or at least the disconnect, has been from a lot of other people that have kind of taken that idea and like word of mouth. And then now here we are, where if I'm getting to the source where I'm hearing it, it's a little bit easier to understand. But I get what you're saying, Eddie, and there is that narrowing of discoverability. Yeah. Holtz, well, when I hashtag Stadia, I get people's views, trailers, purchases, and lose the ease to find content. Okay, so at least we have an example now. So Holt's saying that when he does do the hashtag Stadia, he's seeing a lot more of people's views, people's, the trailers, the purchases, and it's not necessarily content. It's more of the internet focused Stadia, not necessarily the community focused Stadia. This at least is giving more insight to why hashtag Stadia 100. Ruben says, you guys make me tired. Good night, all stay safe. Keep doing what you all love to do in whatever capacity you want to do it. All your health and well-being is important. Thank you, Ruben. You have yourself a good one, sir. Thank you for stopping by. Clef says, Eddie Player One, I recommend combining with Stadia and other hashtag. It acts as an additional filter. Don't use in isolation. It doesn't hurt as everyone uses multiple hashtags to grab a bigger audience. Gotcha. I never said it was negative. It's just the goals. Once Clef came up and cleared up what was the goal of the hashtag, if the goal is to filter for existing watchers, makes complete sense. Exactly. And that's kind of like I said, now that I have somebody who at that forefront of it all happening, not necessarily word of mouth down the river, it makes sense. It makes more sense now than what I've been hearing from a lot of people. And that's kind of like what needs to be, I think, now the determining factor of why we're doing all this stuff. So Eddie also says, if I may share my 2 cents on this, a hashtag is not a good hashtag once you need explanation. The intention was great. Maybe the execution wasn't that 100%. Unintended. And I get that. I get what you're saying. But at the same time, not everything works the first time. And that's, I mean, we all know that. So it takes time to kind of make things work. It's not always a first case scenario. And we can obviously see that now. But what's good is that we're able to kind of sit down and actually talk about this stuff civilly, not bite at each other's necks, not, have my chair thrown across the room because I simply don't agree. But Simba, hey, how's it going, man? How are you? I think the Stadia 100 is meant to do exactly what it does, or what a hashtag does. And exactly, yeah. That's a fine specific thing. No, that's that I completely understand at this point now. In the beginning, it just felt like it was more of like a purist ideal. But luckily, Clive has been so generous enough to have a conversation with me. And I know it's late, man. I know it's late for you. But thank you. I genuinely appreciate that. And yeah, no, I you've made me feel more comforting with the idea of this hashtag than what it's normally been making me feel this past week. And that's kind of what I love more than anything, is that I'm able to have this talk, this chatter. We at the beginning with the community help we can make it work. Excuse me. I cannot talk. We we at the beginning with the community help we can make it work how intended. Yeah, true. And I think that's just what needs to happen, is we need to find people that can actually talk about this stuff and not take a jab or block people, or call people out for dumb stuff because it's not necessary. So Holtz, not just existing watchers. If I'm new to Stadia, I can start my hashtag by spelling Stadia, and it will show me hashtags that support the service and community. Awesome, thank you, Holtz, for that. There's definitely some good research notes there. So Endeavor says, I was supposed to go only say hi to Meg 2 hours later. Hey man, but you came at a good time, Endeavor. I mean, we were able to have a conversation, healthy discourse, and chit chat, and all that good stuff. So it's definitely been more positive than anything. So yeah, definitely. Simba says, I'm doing good, sir. Nice to see you doing great. Yeah, no. So it's always good to see. It's always good to see people that I haven't seen in a while. Like, I can tell when I haven't seen people in a while. So, but I'm glad you're doing well. Okay, what else? What else is there? So we've hit the more important stuff in the very beginning. We've gotten to the game list and what's going on with that. We've gotten through the Twitterverse and what's really been going on. And now that we've kind of cleared everything up, I think a lot of people can start resting easy, a little bit more easily, I should say. Some people may still not be happy, which is perfectly fine. But now we have more of an explanation of what's really meant for it. So I should be in bed. I hope I helped bring some clarification. Thanks for listening. Yeah, no, definitely. And I appreciate you coming in here for the clarification on what exactly hashtag Stadia 100, the true meaning of what it's supposed to do, or the goal of what it's supposed to do, which now to me, it's more understanding and why it's there and what the purpose is and its functionality. So yeah, no, definitely. So thank you, sir. Thank you. I appreciate that. Is there anything else that we want to talk about? Is there anything that you guys want to talk about? I should say that. Anything that you guys want to just throw on the plate of questions, comments, concerns? Let's see, Holtz. You know if Stadia, let's see, do you know if you, at Stadia, you get a Christian church planting? It's Google Stadia or after. I have seen, I think we've had this conversation before. At least I remember having this conversation with somebody that Hat Stadia was like, yeah, it was a church planting. That is hilarious. Oh my god, that's too funny. Yeah, no, I'll leave this leave this now, open discussion to what you guys want to bring up. Is there anything you guys want to talk about? Specific game, questions, comments, concerns, things that are just random notes or facts. Anything that you guys feel need to get off your chest? You got any dark secrets? What's on? I'm trying to think. So, I'm just trying to think if there's anything else that I'm missing at the moment. I think I've gotten everything. Yeah. It's just now I gotta get everything sorted out. A lot of things have happened in the past. That's because Endeavor says I'm missing Outcasters tournaments. Actually, well, I should say this. If I remember correctly, next month there will be a Rogue Company tournament again, courtesy of Chase, the gaming advocate. So we will be seeing that stuff. That is something coming up. If you are in his Discord, that's one thing that is in there. So I think they're doing they're not tryouts, excuse me, signups, and it's not lottery this time. So that means that you are more than welcome to create your own team. You'd have your own team now. So yeah, you can have your full squads. Holt says I was talking about Destiny 2 and they replied, maybe it was my Destiny, I found them. That was a good one, sir. That was a good one. I accept. Eddie says once they update the game or bring crossplay, I'll do another one. That'll be a good one. I think once they expand, because we'll have a lot more player base, we'll see a lot more people. That's definitely one thing. Let's see. Is there anything else that I need to discuss with people? Doom, 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 doom. Oh, speaking of which, looks like Ashes is actually live right now too. He's actually playing. What is he playing right now? I wonder. Let's take a look. He's playing WoW right now. Have you guys ever seen Ashes play WoW? Let's talk about Heller leaving Twitch. That's a good conversation. Okay. So for those that don't know, hopefully you know who Harris Heller is. He also goes by the name of Alpha Gaming on YouTube. But Harris Heller is, of course, the person who created Stream Beats, lo-fi, all that stuff. He is the man responsible for royalty-free music, copyright-free music, so you could play on streams. And he had posted 2 videos just recently. I think they were actually today. One of them was in discussion about burning the boats, which is a phrase, but yeah, he posted it in regards to that he was leaving Twitch, and it was something that he's been wanting to do for I think he said for the past year, and he was trying to get an update on when his partnership contract, his Twitch partner contract, was going to be up. Decided he wanted to leave, and it wasn't on bad terms, which was good to hear. I totally respect the dude. He's a genius in my opinion. So Endeavor says he was talking about it a lot. Fluffy says he had been planning for a while. Yeah, the search engine on Twitch sucks. So what he had mentioned, or what he had said in his video, and of course it's tailored to what more positive sense in a way. I mean, I don't really know. I don't know the guy as you know, as a lot of other people probably do. I try to watch his streams as much as I can, but I can't always be there when he's there. But he said one of the reasons that he wanted to move was because, you know, Twitch was a great platform for people streaming, but he wanted to do more than just stream. He wanted to be able to do videos and all this stuff. He kind of saw YouTube as this one-stop shop to do all you wanted to do. Like it could be a live stream, it could be video, it could be when Twitter started doing flights, YouTube had shorts and all this other stuff. So it was kind of like this collective of things, of content that he can constantly do on multiple different levels. And that was one of the huge things that hit him, was that, YouTube was a good place to get all that. And Twitch kind of just had, it was just really streaming. Like you could do different types of streams, but it was just really mostly streaming. And then you had to balance both platforms of, okay, YouTube has all this for this stuff, and then I do my live streams here. Like I just wanted it all in one place, which made sense. And to me, it made sense. So his Harris Heller profile or channel is like not even monetized. They're starting from scratch. He's not using Alpha Gaming. Like that, I think he's keeping separate. So his first stream or first showcase is going to be, I believe, tomorrow on YouTube. So definitely look him up. He does a lot of crazy stuff. Like he's really good. Talks about different things like lighting, how to help your channel grow, and all that stuff. But he's a really cool dude. Really cool dude. I think he's around my age too. Dude owns like 8 businesses. Guy's crazy. Fucked up my brand because I was about to leave from YouTube and start streaming Twitch. It's crazy. I mean, it's crazy to see. And it wasn't just him. Like I saw a couple other people, not necessarily large name people, but a lot of people that were moving from Twitch to YouTube. And even people that I know in our community that like Harris Heller were doing the same thing with like, yeah, I've tried Twitch and all this stuff, but I kind of want to go back to YouTube because YouTube is like where everybody's at. So, or where their friends are, or, vice versa. But I mean, it makes perfect sense to me. And I understand why he wants to do it. Like he said, it's a one-stop shop for all of his content to kind of be there. And he doesn't really have to manage too much of anything other than one specific area. So, I mean, kudos to him. Dude's smart. Does a lot. So I wish him all the best, and I know he's going to continue to strive wherever he's at. So dude's amazing. Eddie says, yep, but at the end, I did the right thing. Have a separate channel if your content differs from your main channel. Yeah. No, it's 100%. It's 100%. And that's, I think in the beginning, that was kind of like my thing, was when I created this channel, like I knew I wanted to focus Stadia, but at the same time, it wasn't going to be my main platform. And I could always change the stuff that I need to. That's why the idea was to do Link TV. Link TV was supposed to be able to, in turn, like the way I say, stay linked up, link everybody, all my viewers, to the content that I'm doing on different areas. Keep them all linked together. In a sense, that was really the idea behind it all. And I kind of just went to Link Stadia being, or Link TV _ Stadia being kind of just like, that was the focus at the time, because I wanted to strictly keep that my ideal until I knew for a fact that I was planning on doing all this other content. I had the PC, I was building the PC, and I wanted to wait until all that was set in stone before I said, okay, let's go forward and do this. So yeah, I mean, it's a process, and you do what you love. As I've said to many people, do what you love regardless of what people tell you. Like, that shouldn't be the determining factor. Yes, it's gonna hurt, but at the same time, those aren't the people paying your bills. There's plenty of other people out there that want to see what you do, want to see you continue what you do. I will personally say I will follow all the people that I've been following to this day to the very end, because everybody that I've subscribed to and watched has done an amazing job, has grown to amazing heights. Like, continue doing what you do, and I will back you up 100%. I don't expect anything in return other than that you keep producing what you love. And that's how it should be. Endeavor says the only thing I like more on Twitch is when you follow someone, you know, every time he goes YouTube notification. Oh, okay. When he goes live, YouTube notifications are more muted. That's 100% true. I understand that. It's a little bit more tricky because it's like you have to subscribe and then you have to do the notification bell. It's like it should all be tied to one thing together. Like it should. I don't know why it's not. So who knows? Who knows? Eddie says I had to hear that. Thanks. No problem, man. I said I'm always like, with everybody that branched out, I'm always going to be there to help. I may not always watch like the videos, and I my time is already spread thin as it is, and I try to watch everybody, but at the same time, I don't expect anybody to do the same for me. I don't expect everybody to always be at my shows or my live streams or watch every video that I have up there, but it's there because that's just what I do, and I like doing it, and I'll keep doing it until I'm old and gray, and you know, I'll be the grandpa that still plays games. So they have, what is it, a gaming grandma? Like I'll probably be the same thing. So Eddie says gotta go. You'll have a good night, good week. See you around. Definitely, Eddie. Definitely. Appreciate you stopping by, sir. You have a good night. But yeah, definitely. To anybody out there that ever needs to hear it, continue doing what you do, please. Content is content regardless. If it makes you happy, that's all that matters. Grandpa Link, yep. Grandpa Link Gaming. It's happening. Oh man, I finally found my new channel. That's what it's gonna be. Oh man, that's hilarious. That is hilarious. Anything else? Is there anything else that anybody wants to talk about before we decide to maybe call it a day? He does it without being asked. He will randomly say something in my gameplay streams. What do you mean? Maybe I missed that, Fluffy. And he does it without being asked. He will randomly say something in my gameplay streams. Oh, you mean just chatter? Like just pop in? Oh man, what a day. Hopefully everybody's been having a good Monday. I know a lot of people don't like Mondays, but oh, me watching people? Yeah. I lurk a lot, and that's one of the biggest things is I will lurk a lot of the times, strictly because I'm either watching a bunch of other people or I'm doing a ton of different other things. So I at least put in the time to open up the windows for as many people as I can, click the like button. If I can say hello, I'll say hello really quickly, but at the same time, it's like if I'm spread thin, I just pop in really quick, watch it. I'll probably leave it on for the duration. Like the watch time is there for you guys, and I always try to do that. I mean, even Meg knows, like I lurk so much, she doesn't even know when I'm there and when I'm not. So, I mean, if that doesn't tell you already, like I tend to really just kind of watch a lot of people and then pop in when I'm available, and we'll say something for a while and then kind of disappear. Like that's been how crazy it is for me as of lately. Link alert, yeah, pretty much. Instead of life alert, link alert. Yeah, no, I tend to lurk a lot just because I'm doing multiple things, so it's kind of just my way of giving back to people as best I can is to give them the watch time, because a lot of people should be watching them. So it's definitely better than nothing. Having a tab open goes a long way for a lot of people. So, but let's do this. I think I'll call it here because it's a small hour and 20 minutes. Nothing too bad. Let's head over and bombard Ashes. Let's say hello to Ashes as he plays WoW. I don't think anybody's ever seen him play WoW. And I think he just... Oh, I thought he just died. But let's definitely say hi to him. Let me drop his link. Drop his link. Definitely go stop by, say hi to him. Let him know that I sent you. I'll probably be there just shortly. I'll wrap up here. And then we'll discuss more on what's going on with... Yeah, definitely. Rate him. Tell him I all sent you. And I'll head over there shortly. But yeah, we'll talk more in regards to what's going on with stream schedule. I'll get all that stuff situated. Hopefully by the end of this week, we'll have a better understanding of what I can actually do and whatnot, and we go from there. But as Fluffy is now pointing it out, and hopefully Streamlabs does it, you guys know the drill at the end of every show, every stream. Stay linked up. I'm gonna get out of here, and I appreciate everybody hanging out with me. It was good to kind of talk about it, and I hope you guys have a little bit more understanding of what's been going on with me. So, and I try to keep you guys all updated. But thank you guys all, and we'll see you on the next one. Deuces.